Well, hello everyone. It is Karen Ann Harlos. I am normally known for doing libertarian political commentary under the pink flame of liberty. If that interests you at all, please go subscribe. And I also do very quick parliamentary tips. I know that seems a little strange. I'm a Robert's Rule registered parliamentarian, and you can subscribe there at Pink Parliamentarian. But this is my other love, words and history, particularly older words. They might still be in use today, but they're dying. Or dead words that we might want to just revive or examine, and the intersection of them with history. Like the word we did last week, episode 3, cockerate. Get your mind out of the gutter. I have a word for you this week, unlike it seems like all the other words I've been choosing, that will not bring your mind there, but is very interesting. But the word cockerate is so perfect for the Twitterverse or X or whatever you want to call it. That word needs to come back. And I am proud to say I have used all of the old words that we have already gone over in at least a sentence once. How have you been doing? Now, the word we're going to be discussing this week on Jurassic Dictionary is Prinkle. No, not the potato chips. I know it sounds like Pringle, the potato chips, which is originally what I thought. So it intrigued me just because of that similarity. What does Prinkle mean? And unless you've got a severely more filthy mind than me, that does not bring to mind anything untoward. And in my research, I have found out that this word during the same period of time has had two very distinct meanings. But we are going to concentrate on one of them. And if you're noticing why today I'm not wearing any makeup at all, it's this one. It's always opposite in the camera. I just had some eye problems. You could probably still see it's a little red. So I have to keep anything foreign away from my face at all till it completely heals. But it was bright red earlier in the week. So it's gotten a lot better. So in case you're wondering why I look so plain Jane, that's why. Okay, so what is this earlier meaning? Well, not earlier, concurrent early meaning that we are going to concentrate on. And as usual, this is a professional presentation. So I do have notes. It says prinkle. It's an intransitive Scottish verb meaning to have or cause a pricking sensation. I'm wondering, why isn't pricking just enough? But prinkle is just so cool. Like the feeling of pins and needles, to prickle, to tingle. Now, it's not surprising that this word drew my attention because for some reason, somewhere in my soul, if you believe in past lives, maybe sometime in my past life, I was some Scottish lass, because Scottish and Gaelic always draw my attention, and I didn't even realize that this was a word of Scottish origin. So, it's exactly what happens to your foot or your leg when it falls asleep. It prinkles. That'll be very easy for you to use in a sentence. So, but during the same period of time, it also meant a type of fish. We're not going to get into the relationship of that. I would just like you to know that that was an alternative Scottish meaning during the same period of time. And this period of time that we are talking about is the early 1800s, but the Oxford English Dictionary, which I did buy a subscription to. So I think in the low notes, it shows how you can support the show. If you would like to get me the Dictionary of American Regional English, I would really appreciate it. Or help pay for my newspapers.com or OED subscription. I would really appreciate it so I could keep bringing you these interesting facts. Now, OED has Prinkle going back to 1721. So we are really going back now. So OED gave an example of Prinkle in a sentence, and it was, Mona felt her blood, hot and prinkling, mount to her cheek. I just love older writing styles. It's so vivid. So it wasn't even just like a tingling in your leg. It was her blood. Her blood was hot and prinkling. presumably because she was embarrassed or tingling in new love that caused a flush to her cheeks, to mount to her cheeks. Now, both of these usages made their way into the 20th century, with 1998 being the last, at least major usage that I could find using the meaning I prefer. And I found no YouTube videos on it, which is unusual because there's YouTube videos on everything. There's YouTube videos on the love lives of leeches. I mean, there wasn't anything on this. So Prinkle in any sort, meaning the fish, or the meaning that I prefer, appears only 0.01 per million in the English language. So I think we could safely assume it's pretty rare, and you will be a pretty rare person if you use it. But oddly enough, the Urban Dictionary has this word as well. And let's see what the Urban Dictionary has it as. And it's the Urban Dictionary, okay? So be forewarned. It has it as the crinkling noise heard when a person wearing a maxi pad moves around. It's a portmanteau of pad and crinkle. That is classic for the Urban Dictionary. That's not the sense in which I'm using it, though that is kind of clever. I like pop culture, so I enjoy that as well, but I am not going to be using it in that way. That would just be terribly embarrassing to the person that you're referring to. I prefer to think of it as a portmanteau, again, the earlier meaning of a portmanteau of prickle and tingle. Or as the OED had suggested, it's from an even older word of pring. I would really like to look this up or have looked this up in some old newspapers, but I did just do that trial subscription last time because newspapers.com is so awesome and you could get lost in it, but the subscription for it is not cheap. It's $75 for every 3 months, which is just something right now for a news show that I can't justify. But if you would like to help me out with that, I would love it, and I'll do some research for you. You know, I love to do that as well. If there's something in particular you're looking for, that's not going to like take me 10,000 hours. So, just get in touch with me at Jurassic Dictionary at gmail.com. So that is all for this episode. Again, short little things. Let's use that word this week. Okay, so that's all for this week. Let's try to use this word this week. So try it. And maybe it'll start an interesting conversation. Do you know anything more about this word? Please tell me below. And again, check out my other stations. Boy, do I sound old. My other YouTube channels, Pink Flame of Liberty, which is, again, political commentary from a libertarian perspective, and Pink Parliamentarian, which is very similar to this show, but it's just quick and dirty tips on parliamentary procedure. And when I say quick and dirty, I don't mean it in the obscene way. I mean just quick and dirty that you can learn something in and out and probably use it at your next meeting. In any event, I hope you have an awesome day.